Tyler, it's girls who are 68% more likely to suffer a concussion while playing sports in high school. That was in a new publication released by the Journal of Athletic Trainers. Now, when we're talking girls soccer, they are 3 times more likely than their male counterparts to suffer brain trauma. Out here on top of Party Animal, he's with Bad Company, who's putting on this rodeo here in Sinton. Inside, plenty of world champion stock and riders, also gift shops all over the place. The only thing you really can't do is put a price on the fun. This casual sport offers opportunities for people to play free all day long during the day, or you can try a glow-in-the-dark experiment at night. Sometimes brothers will start together on the same gridiron, but in Ingleside, it's a little bit more unique, where you will see 2 of the name McHugh. It all began as a coaching change back in the mid-1980s and has since turned into a dynasty here at Cal Allen. Phil Danner has led the Wildcats to 26 straight playoff appearances, but come Friday night, he has a chance to reach a plateau that few in Texas high school football have ever hit, and he has a chance to do it against his bitter rival. Big game on tap here tonight as Alice travels to Flower Bluff. Teams are going to be entering Hornet Stadium here in about an hour to get this one underway for the home team. That is Flower Bluff. The big key for the Hornets is continuing to fit square pegs into round holes for Coach Darrell Andrews. We've shown you just about everything else there is to see here tonight, but we saved the best for last, the Mechanical Bull. I'm about to get myself a taste of some bad medicine. Reporting at the Sinton Pro Rodeo, Jason Notoras, KRIS 6 Sports. The community will honor 2 of its graduates who recently died in a fallen but not forgotten ceremony tonight at halftime. Sergeant Ryan Lakoski was killed last October in New Orleans. Dressed in uniform, the 2005 grad was walking his wife home from a military ball when he was stabbed. The Toloso Midway faithful will also remember the life of Johnny Joe Ramos. The 2001 graduate was struck and killed by an SUV while out for a morning jog just last week.
Anytime you lose individuals to a tragic accident and a murder, the community suffers for it. Both warriors on and off the field, Lakoski and Ramos, will be the focal point of halftime at the homecoming game. As for the contest itself, Toloso Midway hopes the emotion of the evening propels them to their first victory of the season. Well, our district is pretty even this year, and that it's pretty much an open race. I think our kids don't realize that yet, and that's what we're working for. TM will host Miller tonight with a 7:30 kickoff. Reporting in Warrior Stadium for Action 10 Sports, I'm Jason Notoras.
The crash of pins, like thunder from the heavens above. A sound of success on these oiled down lanes. In this game, strikes are the objective. 12 in a row equates to bowling perfection. A feat reached roughly 500 times at Saratoga Lanes since it opened in 1989. That's about twice a year. And it's a barrier that reached new heights at 10:16 the morning of January 21st, 2012.
My heart stopped for a minute, just like, is he going to do it? Am I going to do it?
14-year-old Jonathan Owen recalls being 1 strike from a 300 score, the pinnacle point total in bowling. As he reached for the ball and prepared for his final roll, it became clear that Jonathan would be the youngest person documented to bowl a sanctioned 300 at Saratoga Lanes. And he did it in front of his friends and his family.
A lot of pressure. It was like, I was real nervous. My leg, you can see my legs shaking from back here.
I actually pushed him out of the way to see that, so.
Oh yeah, last frame I got pushed.
Yeah.
Jonathan and his family now have a 300 trophy and their memories to forever cement his accomplishment.
And now that he's, bowling his 300 or just outside watching him play basketball, it's just a blessing to be able to have him here with us.
A few days after Jonathan was born, his parents, Tina and David, realized something was wrong. On one trip to Driscoll Children's Hospital, his parents said their baby stopped breathing. Doctors diagnosed Jonathan with a disease that paralyzes muscle in the body and has a high fatality rate among infants.
He told us it was a 99% chance that he would have the Workman-Hoffman disease.
They didn't give him but maybe 3 months from that point on.
I guess I took it a little harder because after that point, I didn't really want to spend, I don't know if I can do this.
You're fine.
At that time, I felt like I didn't want to get close to him because I was afraid I was going to lose him.
The Owen family drew strength from one another and spent the next 38 days at the hospital, fearing to leave Jonathan's side. Then on day 39, he began to show signs of improvement.
In the ICU, they only let you go in at certain times. It was hard to go in. But every time we went in, his little heart rate would race, and he knew that we were there.
Jonathan had been misdiagnosed and was able to fully recover from what turned out to be infant botulism.
I'm just happy I survived. I'm happy they found the real disease, happy I'm alive right now.
He was fighting for his life, pretty much. So his accomplishments now is great. We're happy, very, very proud to have him here.
Today, Jonathan is a fully healthy 8th grader from Alice, and the multi-sport athlete says he is making the most of his life, one miracle at a time. Jason Notoras, KRIS 6 Sports.
It's one of the most inspirational stories here in the Valley. Rivera Junior swimmer Domingo Santoyo uses every limb with which he was born to make the seemingly impossible obtainable.
I believe it's a blessing. I don't really see it. I view myself as handicapped. God took away something but gave me something in return. He gave me knowledge and courage, and I think that's worth more than 2 limbs.
Domingo was born without arms and almost drowned twice as a child, making his story that much more heroic.
You have to conquer your fears sooner or later.
So in the summer of 2007, Domingo summoned all his bravery and agreed to take swimming lessons.
I was very, very scared. I'm like, Mom, I don't think that's a good idea. You know, what if this happens, what if this happens? I was basically trying to make excuses. Coach, don't let me go, don't let me go. I'll fall, don't let me go. I was like, buddy, I'm right here. You will always be, I'm right here, I won't let you go, I won't let you go.
Domingo began here in the 3-foot deep area of the pool, but his determination saw no limits. He soon learned how to float, developed a kick, and began to swim. By the end of the summer, he had earned a certificate and conquered his fear of water.
It's like almost a euphoria for me. I just love getting in the water, the feel you get, your body, how every single muscle is working. It's beautiful. It's a very amazing sport, very unique.
His newfound passion would take a new direction that fall, competitive swimming. In need of a physical education credit for school, Domingo joined the Rivera swim team coached by Ryan Shea.
I was like, okay, this will be, I know he just learned how to swim this summer, and we put him in there, and he did really good, and I was ready for the challenge, and he did anything I told him to do, he wanted to do, and whatever he didn't get done, he just wanted to get the effort.
Oh my God, he's gonna go swim, so we like run to him to join swimming and then to do all of this, and it's like crazy that he can do all of this.
Received a lot of positive feedback, a lot of positive energy from my peers, and I fed off of that right away.
We're closer than our real families because we're always here. This is our second home.
I feel like I want to mimic what they do, and that's like the fuel that pushes me to try to be better.
But there was hesitation as the first meet approached. Domingo was preparing to race the 50-meter freestyle.
What if I lose? And that's when Coach Shea taught me a valuable lesson and told me that you gotta compete with yourself, you gotta beat yourself. You're not racing against other people, you're beating your own time. I jump into that pool and I'm not thinking about it, I'm thinking of beating my time. I dropped 12 seconds on my time. And then I dropped another 10 seconds, then I dropped another 8 seconds, then I'm down to about 113, which people told me that that's really, really good for, you know, being down to limbs.
So the kids watch him and they see how much he goes through and how much work he puts in and how much he tries, and he cares a lot. And the other kids, they just watch him, the other swimmers, and they just motivate them to do better.
Motivation can only carry you so far. The season flew by for the Rivera swim team, and with a district meet as the only event remaining on the schedule, Domingo had one final chance to lower his time.
and we're like right here in his face, and we're yelling at him. All you hear is like everybody cheering him on.
I always cry. I don't know why. Feeling inside your body that makes you cheer.
1 minute, 12 seconds, a new personal record.
I want to catch my breath. My teammates they're already prepared. They tell me my time. And when they told me I dropped 2 seconds, and I was just very happy and very excited. The best minute through 12 I've had in my life.
They just feed off of him, and I'm proud of him.
And you ready to hit the water next year? Or?
Of course.
All right. Well, okay. Well, what's the goals for next year? I mean, we got to start setting the bar.
Yes. I definitely want to try another stroke. And my endurance, I need to kick it up and take it up a few notches.
Domingo finished short of qualifying for the regional meet, but as he teaches us, it's about competing against yourself and enjoying those little moments of personal accomplishment. His return to the pool as a senior brings goals of breaking the 1 minute 10 swim.
My name's Colton Mims. I'm starting quarterback for FYLIP High School. I feel like you just got to get the job done and you just got to go out in there and take control. It's not just me. I mean, I have to be a big part in the leadership area, but there's a bunch of us out there and everyone's picking each other up. We have a lot on our shoulders. We have to prove people wrong. As long as we do our thing and do our assignments, I mean, we can break school history and do what we can do.
Hey, hut!
I would rather die while I feel like I'm living and doing something I love than live and feel like I'm kind of dying and treading water.
In a way, Lemanowitz has lived his entire life on top of water, a hockey goaltender drafted by the NHL's Florida Panthers. He also spent time at Toronto Maple Leafs practice goalie before playing in the Valley this past season.
I feel like I used to play for this team, the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees, and now I'm just joining another team.
That other team?
And the Rockets' red glare.
The U.S. Army.
I think a lot of people were maybe caught off guard by my decision.
Honestly, I was kind of shocked that he would be considering doing something like this.
Shot saved by Lemanowitz as he knocked it away from the front of the goal.
You don't hear too many, whether famous or semi-famous people wanting to come into the service and actually do something patriotic for their country.
Upon his return to the Valley, he hopes to become a second lieutenant in civil affairs.
They don't just fight, they do a lot of other really positive things that I want to be a part of.
Lemanowitz is non-deployable for 2 years, but he realizes the danger that may come in 2010. Civil affairs are the most deployed unit in the Army and have one of the highest death rates.
If you ask me right now if I'm scared, I would say no. However, talk to anyone who's ever over there and is, confronted with any type of danger, they would probably tell you yes, of course there's fear and that they're scared.
Lemanowitz will complete his duties in the front office for the Killer Bees, that before leaving for basic training in September. Tyler, those West Oso helping Miller stories continue to pop up. Earlier in the week, we reported how Robert Watson gave his younger brother storm shoes to wear here in the state championship tournament. Well, before Thursday's game, it was Willie Harper from last year's West Oso championship squad that had advice for Billy Guzman.
Basketball never stops for me. I play AAU basketball during the summer. I've been to national tournaments, state tournaments, but this is definitely like the biggest crowd I've ever played in front of. But I got some advice before I came here, just not look up at the crowd, and it did help me.
Who gave you that advice, if you don't mind me asking?
Willie Harper.
I think also put us on the map, and hopefully we can continue that stereotype of Region 4 becoming stronger.
We're both from Corpus at the end of the day, and they're very supportive of us, and they want us to bring it back home, and that's what we're going to do, but we still got unfinished business.
The 3A state championship game will tip off at 10 o'clock right here in the Frank Irwin Center. Reporting for KRIS 6 Sports, I'm Jason Notoras.
This is my daughter, Savannah Lee, Champion Cooks, and she's 2 years old. When you have a child and you know, you're put in a situation to where you have to become a father and become a family man, which I chose to be, you tend to grow a little wiser faster than you typically would.
Watching them be around each other honestly would just make my day. They're just really good together, and I'm just shocked that he can maintain that in football and school and our engagement at the same time, and we never miss a beat.
Cooks and his fiancée Tiffany Champion are high school sweethearts and plan to wed next November when their lives slow down.
Football being very time consuming, I still try to make time to take care of, you know, my family, and as well as taking care of my studies.
On the day-to-day basis, it's just hectic, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Cooks adds while he will miss football when the season is over, this year has been one to remember.
We like to show how hard we fight, and you know, how no matter what adversity comes our way, we try to persevere through it.
Just as he shows us in his own life. Donnie Cooks II, athlete, scholar, fiance, and father.
I love you, Dad.
Okay. I love you too.
To be a senior, you have to be 50 plus. I was only 48, and I'm going, shucks, I can't do this.
Bring on the birthdays. That was the mentality of now 57-year-old Tom Nagley just a few years back. The past decade, this local resident and business owner has picked up competitive cycling.
Once you get over 40, 45, 50, you're not over the hill. You got a lot of things to do.
Nagley is one of 5 riders from Texas to qualify for this weekend's senior national games that take place in Houston.
I just wanted to do it for the competition and see if I can do it, and all of a sudden the medals started coming. When I go to nationals, my goal is top 10, and there's no medal for the top 10, but I know I gave it all I had, and there's a lot of competition across this nation.
Since 2009, Nagley has become the model of senior cyclist in South Texas, winning multiple medals and taking first place in 4 events at the recent regional qualifiers that eventually led him to the national event, a race he intends to run for at least the next 30 years of his life.
Easily 80 to 90 years old. And, you know, not as fast as I'm going now, and I realize that, but I'm going to keep on competing. And I was called a youngster one time, and I'm thinking, 57, youngster? Well, an 80-year-old was calling me a youngster, and I said, oh, okay, I'll buy that. I'm a youngster to an 80-year-old.
Men without hats told us we can dance if we want to. Now these athletes in caps are shaking their groove thing.
One of the guys just came up with it on the team. We always played it during a certain inning. When we needed to get riled up, when we needed to get a rally going, and they'll play the song up there, and then one person will get it started, and then next thing you know, everybody just follows suit, and it just became a little tradition down here.
You add your own style in that part in the middle where you go crazy. We have a little bit of fun with that. We got a bunch of crazy guys on our team, man. It's hard to keep up with everybody, but it's all pretty funny stuff.
Hog Nation's Bust-A-Move performance proved just the motivator as they won both games in a doubleheader Friday. That keeps the team alive in a very tight race for the final playoff spot in the Lone Star Conference. A&M Kingsville has one more game on the docket. They must win tomorrow. They need West Texas A&M to lose.
Oh yeah, we're grooving on right into the playoffs. Try to take it from there.
Reporting from Kingsville, Jason Notoras, KRIS 6 Sports.
I just wanted to be on the diamond all the time, like 24/7.
Cal Allen product Dylan Duarte and teammate Trace Busey beat out more than 300 other athletes at a national tournament to make the USSSA All-American team.
One of the best experiences of my life right there. That was amazing for me.
I looked around and realized that, you know, I was above average than, you know, the normal kid. I can, you know, seriously have a shot at doing something in this sport.
At the age of 13, Busey is already hitting 80 miles per hour on his fastball, a talent he has honed in recent years.
I have a true passion for baseball, so I can give up going to the movies or to the mall to, you know, just work on bettering my skills.
This
duo is just the next in line for Cal Allen, a school that featured 3-time USSSA All-American Wyatt Matheson. He traveled with Team USA's varsity squad to Prague last month alongside Carroll's Trey Rodriguez.
This whole city has high schools left and right that go state tournament every year, back to back, and it's just amazing how much talent we got here.
Duarte and Busey both pitch and play in the outfield. They work out at Rollins Baseball Academy off Holly, and with every swing of the bat, every throw, these future Wildcats make sacrifices to get one step closer to living out their dreams.
Every day of the summer, I'd always be on the baseball field.
You don't really get to, do all the stuff on the weekend that a normal kid does, but I mean, it's worth it because, now look where I am.
It's the first teen and tween kickball tournament hosted by FYLIP, a local nonprofit that helps 18 to 25-year-olds transition from the foster care system into independent life.
FYLIP has helped me with my rent. They help with groceries sometimes. They help with just moral support as well.
19-year-old Rebecca Royal suited up for Team FYLIP at Saturday's tournament, giving back to the program that meant so much to her once she graduated high school, when she hit rock bottom.
I was homeless. I was homeless in Dallas, and then I ended up actually being out on the street for about 3 to 4 days. Horrible, because you go days without eating.
A church led Rebecca to a shelter where she got back on her feet. Today she has returned to Corpus Christi with the support of her foster family, FYLIP, and Kickball.
I was coaching juniors for this last season, and then I heard about this tournament. It helps individuals like me and others that are, getting out of the system, but it also, was a fun experience.